Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's Venetian wedding faces waves of protest amid lavish celebrations. As Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez prepare to tie the knot in one of the most romantic cities in the world, their high-profile wedding continues to spark intense controversy and vocal opposition in Venice, Italy. While the city's mayor and local officials have expressed pride in hosting the billionaire couple, a growing number of residents and activist groups are pushing back, claiming that the event symbolizes the unchecked influence of wealth and privilege in a city already under pressure from mass tourism and gentrification. On Wednesday, June 25, a dramatic protest turned heads in the historic Canal city. A life-size dummy bearing a strong resemblance to Jeff Bezos was floated through one of Venice's canals. Clad in a blue Amazon worker's jumpsuit, the figure gripped an oversized Amazon box and fistfuls of fake cash. The protest was staged by Borne Media, a group known for public stunts with political messaging. The dummy, mounted on a remotely controlled motorized raft, drifted past gondolas and curious tourists as cameras snapped away, capturing the moment that quickly went viral. The stunt was only the latest in a series of coordinated protests targeting Bezos and Sanchez's wedding festivities. In the weeks leading up to the celebration, demonstrators took to the streets of Venice with posters, signs, and banners reading "No space for Bezos." Stickers with similar messages were plastered across the city's historic center, featuring an image of a rocket and a direct jab at Bezos' space exploration company, Blue Origin. Some of Venice's most iconic landmarks became stages for resistance. Banners were hung from the centuries-old Rialto Bridge and the legendary St. Mark's Bell Tower, two of the city's most visited tourist destinations. The visual symbolism of these protests was clear. For many Venetians, Bezos represents the commercialization and privatization of spaces that belong to the public. The protests have brought together nearly a dozen local organizations, including housing advocates, university student groups, and anti-cruise ship activists. United under the slogan "No space for Bezos," these groups argue that events like Bezos' wedding only accelerate the displacement of longtime residents and the transformation of Venice into a playground for the ultra-wealthy. Another banner placed around the city read, "If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax," featuring a large image of Bezos. Police reportedly removed many of these signs shortly after they were put up, but not before images circulated widely on social media. Despite the backlash, Venice's city officials continued to defend their decision to host the event. Mayor Luigi Brugnaro told the Associated Press that he considers the couple's choice to marry in Venice an honor, describing the city as a global stage. He expressed hope to meet Bezos in person during the festivities. City Hall released a statement to NBC News earlier this month, assuring residents that the wedding would not interfere with daily life and stressing that Venice is well prepared to host events of such magnitude. The celebrations, attended by 250 guests, will blend into the daily rhythm of a city that, with dignity and respect, welcomes thousands of visitors from around the world while safeguarding the quality of life for its residents, workers and students, the statement said. Officials emphasized that the protests are in no way representative of the majority of citizens, claiming that most locals feel honored that the wedding is taking place in their city. To show their appreciation to Venice, Bezos and Sanchez have reportedly taken steps to incorporate local culture and artisans into their wedding. According to sources, about 80% of the provisions for the event are being sourced from local vendors. These include famed pastry shop Rosa Salva and glassmakers from Laguna B. The couple has also requested that their guests refrain from giving gifts, asking instead that they make donations to local Venetian causes. Sebastiano Castellanga, city councilor for commerce and productive activities, praised the no-gifts policy, calling it a very important message, and urging other wealthy visitors to follow the couple's lead. "We are definitely happy to have this funding for the protection of our very delicate city," he told People magazine. But not all gestures have softened the mood. Many locals argue that gestures alone aren't enough to offset the broader impact of high-profile tourism, which they say contributes to overcrowding, rising rents, and the erosion of local culture. The influx of international celebrities including Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kris Jenner, Tom Brady, Diane von Furstenberg and Orlando Bloom has only intensified scrutiny. A source told People that the scale of the event has transformed Venice into a fortress-like operation. Approximately 20 security personnel have been stationed around key venues, including a closed cloister next to the Chiesa della Madonna dell'Orto, a Catholic church that is reportedly a significant site in the couple's wedding plans. Due to ongoing security concerns, and perhaps in response to protesters' actions, the location of at least one major wedding event has been changed. Originally planned for the Scuola Grande della Misericordia, a historic former religious school, the event will now be held at an undisclosed new location. Guests, according to insiders, are being kept in the dark regarding specific wedding venues. They are simply given times to be ready for transport, in an effort to maintain secrecy and ensure the safety of attendees. While the protests continue, so too do the celebrations. The conflict underscores Venice's ongoing struggle to balance its identity as a cultural and historical jewel with its role as a destination for luxury tourism. For many residents, the Bezos wedding is not just a single event, it's a symbol of broader issues plaguing the city. As the wedding unfolds behind closed doors and tight security, the canals of Venice remain filled with tension. On one side, international glamour, wealth, and celebration. On the other, a determined and growing resistance fighting to preserve the soul of a city that has endured for centuries.